welcome back to Stampaholics Anonymous. Today I have for you the final swatch round of swatches of a P.O.P Polish collection for you, and since I have learned from my past experiences with this brand, I have gone ahead and done the swatches before I filmed the intro. You know, I'm able to learn something, so I would know what I was going to be, doing the intro for, and what I was getting myself into, basically. So without further ado, I present to you the 360 degree. See, these bottles are prone to just tipping over. So this is the 360 degree Oil Slick collection. You might be wondering one of several things. One thing that is probably on your mind right now is, what's this bottle? This bottle is a replacement bottle because when I got these shipped to me, one of the bottles was a bit overfilled, and then from the pressure changes on the airplanes and stuff, polish had run down the bottle, the still closed bottle. I took that polish off. I could actually break it off because it was frozen or like hardened solid. And then I proceeded to unscrew that bottle, but due to the fact that there was polish also hardened in the area where you screw the top on, I actually broke that bottle apart trying to open it. Yes, I don't know my own strength, right? So I had to rescue the polish that was still in the bottle and wasn't flowing all over my table, and luckily I have like a bunch of these spare nail polish bottles sitting around. And I was able to rescue, I don't know, half of it maybe, or 3/4 of it. I was also able to rescue the little sticker, so no harm done, right? And the other thing you might be wondering is, what are those colors? Why are there dots on the bottles? That's, a reminder to myself, because as I was swatching these, I picked favorites, and to be able to remember the favorites, I put these dots on the bottles because some of them are very, very similar. But first, let me explain what 360 degrees Oil Slick means. I have it here on my phone because I can't remember all of it. 360 degrees basically means that if you put one of these bottles like on a table and then you walk around it, you can see all of the colors in there. And these are, well, I should have mentioned that, right? These aren't only like Oil Slick colors, but they are shifting chameleon polishes, but the way that she created these is like she put one main color, and that's the color you are going to be seeing most of, because in direct light you are just able to see that like a basic color. So it was really hard for me to film and to take pictures of these because they only get their full effect in like different lighting situations. So you are going to be seeing a couple of swatch pictures where I turned off the light in my light box. That kind of defeats the whole point of a light box, but I was able to show the secondary and tertiary colors better with the lights off, because those secondary and tertiary colors, the colors that these polishes shift to, are only visible in different light settings, and that's what makes these polishes quite intriguing, to me at least. And then the other thing that makes this like a 360 degree collection is that I don't think I have them in the right order, but if you put them in the right order, they kind of form a circle, because they, the last polish has part of the first polish as a tertiary color in there, and then you have a color wheel. Am I explaining myself? I don't know, but I'm gonna post a link to the description that P.O.P Polish herself gives for these color shifting goodies. So what does she say? That she says to see the main color, all you need is the color in direct light, so that's what you're going to be seeing most of. Secondary show easily in the shade or indoors. Those are the easy shifts, like between a gold and a green, for example. And and then there's like tertiary colors that show up in different lighting situations. So I did kind of manage to get like all three colors in all of these polishes, but let me go ahead and give you a quick run through of these colors before we get into the swatches. First up, I don't know if it's the first, I really don't know if I have these in order. This is a Breen Slick, and the name sort of suggests I know with the trim greedy in there, that this one has a main color of gold. I am going to, like I said, list the whole link to this collection in the Etsy store of P.O.P Polish, so you can read for yourself what the main color is. And second up, we have Rebirth of Slick. And this one I would say has obviously a main color of like a burgundy or pink, because that is what's showing up under the direct light under the camera. And then it has, I don't know, gold and green and all kinds of, you know, secondary and tertiary colors. And next up we have Fire Slick, and as the name suggests, and as you can see here, it mostly contains red, and then there's also some strong gold in here, very pretty. And then we have this one, which is called Slick and Jaded. And this one basically just shows up as green, you know, as the term jaded, or like jade is green. It suggests that, but I can see, you know, depending on where I put the bottle, other colors also bouncing off of this. There's also some strong gold in here. I'm going to try to put these like in a circle as I go, so you can kind of see that whole 360-degree thing, and I might be realizing what I've done wrong regarding the color circle. Then next up we have What a Royal Slick, and you can see here that the base color of this is like a strong royal blue or royal purple, and then there's also some purple and gold in there. You can see it here in the extreme angles in the bottle. Very cool. Then we have Storm and Slick, and this one is kind of similar, but it has more purple in it than the Royal Slick before. So also very nice. Then there's also gold in here and pink, and I don't know what else. You can read up on that. Goody. Then we have Slick Like That. I don't know, I think the main color is a teal. And then it shifts to a purple, and there's gold in here too, and I can see some green at very extreme angles. It's really, really interesting. Slick Like That. And then last, the one that I was able to rescue from the broken bottle is Street Slick, and this one has another shade of purple as its base color. So as they're laying out here now, I think I might be able to put them in the right, you know, order. I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna let you look at the swatches now, and meet you back afterwards.
All right, let's get into this swatches. There's going to be 8 polishes, and you're going to see me hold up the bottles with the names on the bottoms in very weird ways, so as to try to show you, you know, the shift in the bottle. Also, this might get repetitive like usual, because this is one of those collections where the formula is actually like very, very consistent all over the different colors. Please bear in mind, these are metallic polishes, not as bad or as metallic as the Nicole Diary polishes that I showed you, or am going to show you. I'm currently not sure. But anywho, these are metallic, so you are going to see some brush strokes and some of those glittery metallic-y particles. Yeah, then also you're going to be seeing me do 2 coats of each of these polishes, which was, you know, just enough to get a decent coverage for all of the polishes. And sometimes when you're looking directly down at your nail, you can still sort of see through your nail, but then, you know, when you lift up your hand, you can't anymore. You know what I mean, right? So this is Greedy Slick. Base color is a strong gold, and I'm going to show you the shiftiness in the swatch pictures. Moving on to the next color, which is called Are we going to hold up the name? It's called Rebirth of Slick, with like a burgundy base color and then some gold shiftiness going on. You see me struggle a bit again with those long stems of the brushes. That's just something you're gonna have to get used to if you want to try out this brand. There's a lot of polish running down that extremely long stem, but if you're, just keep that in mind and wipe off the excess from the stem of the brush, you are okay. And like 2 nice even coats is all it takes for these polishes to get opaque. I had no complaints there, and enjoyed actually applying these for once. All right, moving on to the next color, which is called, I think this is Fire Slick. Is it Fire Slick? Yes, it's Fire Slick. This one has like a very strong red base and it shifts to a nice gold. I really, really enjoyed that. You can see here, first coat is sheer as with the last ones, but in order to get all of the colors showing, I think you need a little bit of a thinner base so as not to, overwhelm the nail and then be able to bounce off all of those colors off of each other. I have no clue how that polish mixing goes at all, so I'm just amazed at how it's even possible to just throw in a bunch of pigments and don't have them mix but have them like bounce of each other. I don't know how that works, but I really enjoyed it, and the end result of these polishes is astonishing. And Fire Slick is, spoiler alert, one of my favorites, and I really liked it, and you're going to see some pretty awesome swatch pictures of this one. All right, moving on to this green based one, which is called Slick and Jaded. Yeah, that's what it's called. Like you see, the green, the base color is like very, very apparent in this one. I wasn't able to show you like all of the colors. All I could do is like show you 2, the green and then some gold bouncing off of that, and the other colors aren't so apparent on this one. And I think this is the first swatch picture set where you're gonna have me turn off my light in the light box. So sorry for that awkward picture, but I was trying to show you like the tertiary color as well, which is like really hard and direct light. So I chose to switch off the light to show you some more of the color shift going on. Like I said in the very beginning, the formula of these is like a very, very consistent across the board. I really like that. It's easy to work with, even though it is a metallic polish. Brush strokes will always be an issue with those. You could try to use like a rich filler underneath, or like put a very, very nice and even glossy taco underneath. That would be an option, to create a very smooth surface to get rid of some of these brush strokes. But, it didn't really bother me in the end result. Okay, moving to what a royal slick. This one has like a royal blue base, and then some purple shiftiness and some gold shiftiness in there also. Again, same formula, brush strokes, metallic, yada, yada, yada. Be careful with the long stem. You know the drill by now. One thing I forgot to mention up until this point is that I topped all of these off with the P.O.P Polish liquid glass top coat, which is amazing. I really like that. It's a nice, thick, very, very glossy top coat. It dries very fast, and it seals in everything that you put underneath of it. I haven't tried it out for stamping yet. I might do that in the future just to see if it smudges stamping or not. All right, up next is Breen Slick. Yeah, this one has another purplish vibe. I think some gray and blue and green and gold. I don't know. You can go read the descriptions of these polishes. I'm going to put a link to P.O.P Polish's Etsy shop down in the description below. Formula with this one is also, the same as the other ones. This is like a bit sheerer. Like the darker the polishes get, the sheerer the first coat seems to be. But it didn't really matter because that second coat is just going to deepen up the color, like the base color, and make it nice and opaque. And also, this dried fairly quickly. I didn't have to wait too long in between coats. So, just doing 2 coats of a decent polish is, not a problem for anyone. Shouldn't be, at least. Six down, 2 more to go. This one here with the strong teal base color is called Slick like that. And you can see in the bottle all those different colors that are somehow, thrown in there and are not mixing but bouncing off each other and like doing this cool shiftiness. Like I mentioned, I have no clue how that goes. It's probably alchemy and some, chanting involved and, dancing around a cauldron, probably. I don't know. This was also one of my favorites. Spoiler alert. I really liked it. And like I said, the darker the color, the sheerer the first coat. Weird, but it's, just the way it goes. Second coat will, take care of that. And I'm going to show you swatch pictures with all kinds of different angles, lights off and on. And like I mentioned, all the swatch pictures have the liquid glass top coat on them. Not the swatch pictures, just my nails in the pictures. Last up is my little salvaged bottle, the Street Slick bottle. Well, I can't complain about the long stem for this one. And you know how the brush works is all my fault. But, you know, it did work. And again, the first coat is pretty sheer, even though this is like, I think, the darkest of the darker of these polishes. Oh, jeez. Yeah, formula is the same, brush strokes, metallic, 2 coats is all it takes. Swatch pictures will be in weird angles and with the liquid glass top coat on top.
Alrighty, that were my swatches of the 360 degrees Oil Slick collection by P.O.P Polish, and I am very, very happy to report that I've been reconciled with the formula of P.O.P Polish. Obviously, the problems I've been having or the issues I've been having with the Neon collection must have to do with the pigments that are in there, because the formula of these was just, there was nothing wrong with it, nothing at all. It wasn't too thick, it wasn't too thin. Yes, the brush itself, or the stem of the brush itself, is a little bit of an issue, because you always have like polish running down the stem, but you also have that issue with every China glaze polish ever. Or for example, if you have one of these great big bottles of HK Girl like I do, you always have polish running down that enormous stem of the brush. So I'm not blaming the like the brand for that. That's just the choice of brush she made. But like I said, I am 100% reconciled about this collection, and I am very, very happy that I got the whole shebang. You know, I have seen mixed reviews of this collection. Well, actually, I've just seen one random girl swatching a polish and then going on about how she put her hand under a UV light for an hour and the polish wouldn't dry. I don't know. I don't think that's a valid review of the brand. And then I saw another full swatch review, and she was very happy about these, but she also said that it was hard to, you know, get all the colors on camera. So I am really happy with this collection. I'm really happy with the formula over the board. It was very consistent. You do want to be careful not to cause too much areas where you need cleanup around your nails, because these being like metallic polishes, you have those little metallic glittery particles that they just stick to your skin like crazy. They just do. So I would recommend, if you take this off, to use a bit of, you know, sugar scrub, like the one you get from Lillian's Garden, to get rid of those fine glitter particles on your nails, or like on your hands rather. You're probably gonna find those in funny places in times to come. So let's talk about favorites. I have grouped these, and the colors on the bottles makes sense now, don't they? Do they make sense to you? These two don't have dots on the bottles because I was just like, meh. They're not anything special, and they didn't stand out to me, and I didn't have any particular feelings about these. They do have their reason to be in the collection, and I'm still happy that I have them, because, you know, depending on the look you're going for or what you're going to be putting over this, like for stamping reasons or whatever, these two are totally valid and good to be in the collection. And then I have these two with the white dots on them. These two I wasn't too crazy about, because even in person, the secondary and tertiary colors of these two, they're a Greedy Slick and Slick and Jaded, aren't too obvious. So what we got ourselves here is basically a gold metallic and a green metallic polish. There is some shift going on, but very, very hard to see. So these are not my favorites. They are like my unfavorites, which doesn't mean I hate them. It's just that they're not my favorites. I think my absolute top favorite of this collection is Fire Slick, because in person that shift between the red and the gold and whatever else is in here is very apparent, and it does look fiery, fiery on your nails. I really love this, and I don't have any other shifting polish or shifting chrome powder or something in this color range, so I'm very happy to have this one. And then these other three, which are get a grip, girl, get a grip. Okay, these bottles are hard to work with. But, you know, if these were like round bottles, I wouldn't be holding up three of them showing you all the names, right? Slick Like That, Stormy Slick, and What a Royal Slick are also very, very pretty in person, and the shift that these do at different angles are just mind-boggling, and different lighting situations. I've walked around the house with these and looked at the polishes under different lighting settings, and I was very happy with these, especially like Royal Slick. What a Royal Slick, that's the full name, is very, very pretty, and the other ones are too. So these four are my faves. These two are like unfaves, but still faves. I don't know if you're getting what I'm trying to say. And these two are like there to complete the bunch. So I am very happy that I have this little polish family in my life, and I am reconciled with Pop Polish. And yes, I would be willing to test out like a cream polish or like a hollow polish from her, just to see if you know, the quality of the formula holds up across like other collections or other types of polishes that she makes. Those neon polishes, well, it's not that I cannot use them at all, but most of the polishes were no good to work with, and the formulas were just incredibly hard to, you know, apply and work with. So I wouldn't recommend those. But you can always go watch those reviews. I talk about in great detail on those, and I will link, you know, all of that Pop Polish stuff up here in the corner on that little eye. So that's it for this brand for now. You might see more of this brand in the future on my channel. Like I said, I might be willing to try other things from her, but if you're looking into the brand, I would definitely recommend checking out this Oilslick collection, because it is really cool, and the thought that she put into these is really, you know, apparent and awesome, and you can really see it come to life in the polishes. So that's it for today, you guys. Thanks a ton for watching and staying with me through these swatches and ramblings of a crazy lady, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!